Hello. For the last 5 years, my life has been consumed by this book over here, Shattered Lands, Five Partitions and the Making of Modern Asia. It's the story of how, as recently as the 1920s, India was far larger than we tend to remember. What the British called the Indian Empire was this vast swathe of Asia that stretched from the jungles of Southeast Asia all the way to the Red Sea, encompassing a quarter of the world's population, the largest Hindu, Muslim, Sikh and Zoroastrian populations on the planet. And everyone from what's now Yemen to what's now Burma used Indian passports, used the Indian rupee, and were governed by the Indian political and civil services. And then in just 40 years, between 1931 and 1971, this vast imperial dominion shattered into 12 separate nation states, leaving behind a legacy of exile and division, and creating many of the issues that Asia faces today. It's the story of how borders were redrawn on battlefields, in boardrooms, by British officials sitting in Lutyens, Delhi, and by soldiers sitting in trenches, by kings living in remote palaces. The legacies of these five partitions include the modern Rohingya crisis, insurgencies in both Kashmir and Baluchistan, several crises of citizenship, much of the insurgencies in modern northeast India, and even the story of the rise of Dubai you'll find within the pages of this book. And I feel that in an age of resurgent nationalism, in a moment when borders are hardening once again, this kind of internationalist world order is beginning to crumble, and allegiances are changing once again. In a moment of instability, I think it's a history that we could look more at, both for the dire warnings that it poses, but also for some of the more successful stories, some of the more human stories within it. Throughout the book, I've tried to focus just as much on the events in the boardrooms as the ways that this was experienced by everyday people living in all across this landscape. And so, yeah, I can't wait for you to read it, and I hope you enjoy it.